it's Steve Roach with CoinWorld, and I'm here with Vicken Yegparian, Vice President of Numismatics at Stack's Bowers Galleries. So, you guys sold a 1794 flowing hair dollar last night for almost $3 million. Tell me about this coin.
We did. We were, we're ecstatic at the price. We were expecting anything north of $2 million to get to almost $3 million. Was incredible. This is one of the top 6 pieces, a beautiful uncirculated coin that was collected by a Britishman, an Englishman, while he was traveling around the Nation U.S. in the 1790s, 1794, 95. He took back a good handful of coinage. He must have either visited the mint or had contacts who got him what became incredible things. They stayed in a mahogany coin cabinet for over a century and a half until being sold in the 1960s by Christie's. They were actually purchased by the Norweb. The one that we sold yesterday was purchased by the Norweb family, Emery May Norweb and her ambassador husband, at that auction, and it was sold when their collection was sold by our firm in 1988, and shortly thereafter it was acquired by our consignor, and they held it. It was sold after his recent passing, and now it's in the hands of the next generation of collectors. It's one of the very small handful of best ones out there. As I said, we've had the great fortune of selling 4 of the 6 top ones in less than a decade. So we've been very fortunate. Numismatics has been fortunate, and our firm has been fortunate to see all these come out to play in the last few years.
Now, what makes the $1794 special?
Wow, there's so many reasons. I mean, it is literally the first U.S. silver dollar. It's the unit of currency on which our nation's economy is based. And these are part of a very small mintage. It's not like they made 1 million of these things. They made a net mintage of 1,758 pieces. Less than 150 of them remain, which is an incredible feat of survival in and of itself. And then to own one of the best ones of the very first American silver dollar, it's been a special thing that only the most major collections have had. The most major collectors have had the great fortune to have. And Mr. Morton Smith, who was our consignor, he passed away recently. His name will forever live in the provenance chain, the pedigree chain of this beautiful coin.
Now, I heard you say that the coin was mint state, uncirculated. What does that mean?
It means that it's never seen general commerce. It was never bounced around in someone's wallet or sack or pocket. It remains its original mint luster and brilliance. Of course, over the last 200 plus years, it's taken on a little bit of toning, a little coloration in the silver, but it remains fully brilliant, fully lustrous, a little bit of color. Everyone who saw it in our case at the shows that we took it to in advance of the auction was just wowed by the coin. I mean, no one's surprised at the price.
And considering that it's more than 200 years old, it looks awesome.
It does. I mean, there are many coins that have fared well and not so well, and the crazy thing about 1794 silver dollars is that even though there are this small handful of amazing survivors, there are so many that have been cleaned or had graffiti or something, or attempts to enhance the quality of them. So to have one that's just perfectly rich and original and untouched, literally, I mean, it's seen basically less than half a dozen owners over the last 2 centuries plus. So
last question, what would you tell someone watching at home if they said, I want to clean my coins?
Please don't do it. It's it's much easier to hurt a coin in the process of trying to make it nicer than to help it. You can do it professionally. We leave it to the professionals. This coin has been untouched for 200 years, and part of the price that it brought is because it was untouched, original, uncleaned. Had it been cleaned, it would have been worth maybe 1/5 of the value, if not less. So don't clean your coins.
Well, fantastic. And on that note, thanks for chatting with us, and have a great show.
Thank you for having us, Steve. Always a pleasure.